Good morning and happy Sunday. Welcome into Allen Athletics here on WACH-FOX 57, your home for everything you need to know about Yellow Jacket athletics here in Columbia, South Carolina. I'm Kate Crenshaw. Glad to have you with us here on this Sunday morning. A full breakdown of the hoops season coming up here in moments, as we'll be joined by both Allen head women's coach LaToya Jones and head men's coach Shawn Walker. They're each 2 games into their regular seasons, both in their first years leading their respective teams. We'll talk with each coach about how they're settling in to the new job, learning the personalities of their squad, and elevating the program to new heights in year 1. All of that more coming up when we return here on Allen Athletics.
At Founders Federal Credit Union, we know success is a team effort. We're always cheering for you, side by side, so you can dream big and achieve your goals. Offering products and services that put you in the lead, whether that's helping you buy a car, build your savings, or supporting your community. We're here with the financial support you need. That's teamwork. Score big with Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders.
And we welcome you in back here to Allen Athletics. Kate Crenshaw doing alongside LaToya Jones, Allen women's basketball coach. Coach, you're 2 games into your first season here with the Yellow Jackets. I know you go through the preseason motions. You got here just before the season started. We were talking a little bit earlier. It's almost like drinking fire out of a water hose, or drinking water out of a fire hose at times. 2 games in, how do you feel as a comfort level you're starting to settle in?
I feel encouraged. You know, there was a lot of positives within those 2 games. We have things that we can build on, but then we also have lessons that we can learn too. You know, we have a big squad. We have a lot of different talents and, you know, trying to work the rotations, trying to work, you know, game time situations, trying to help them understand some of what I'm trying to do. That's still a work in progress, but I think I can say that I'm pretty encouraged these past 2 games.
Coach, you learn more about your team, of course, as the season goes on. You learn a lot when you're facing a brand new opponent. You also learn a lot when you're doing the inter squads, but and then individualized drills as well. What have you learned most about your team 2 games in?
That I have a team of fierce, dedicated basketball players. You know, attitude reflects leadership, and a lot of what they have is what I have. You know, that grit, that passion, that energy, that no holds barred, like we're going to do whatever it takes. And you know, this past game, we did those things. We had some open pockets and we didn't get the win, but that attitude and those things that make us was still there. We just have to make sure that we can do that for 40 minutes. But with that, I'm just excited that I do have a team of dogs per se. Like nobody is trying to be bigger than the other. Nobody is questioning, you know, where this team is going. We have a goal, and it's a big goal, and it's going to take a lot to get there. It's going to take some hurdles to get over. It's going to take some hills to climb. But as long as everybody's marching towards that same thing, then we're going to be all right. So that is what I'm proud of my team. Right now, everybody's marching to the same beat. So my goal is to keep that drum going.
Well, I know it's always a goal to start out your season with a win.
Yes.
And you got that done last Saturday. Allen took down Payne College 77-43. Coach, let's start on the defensive side. From what I've been able to watch in the preseason with your team, very high intensity on the defensive side of the basketball, and you hold Payne to single digits in 2 of the 4 quarters in that victory. What do you like most about your defense?
That it's aggressive. Within my experience, we have always been one of the top defensive teams, and especially in the rebounding area, and so I told them, I was like, I don't coach weak defense. So if you're not out there doing on defensive end, you have to come out, and it all starts with aggressive. Teams look great when they're not under pressure. And our goal is to bring the pressure to expose what's not so great, and so I spend a lot of time with that, and I spend a lot of extra time talking about what happens if that's not done as well. So I think that the buy-in is starting to happen. It's not perfect, but we have great moments of 5-on-5 defense, so yeah.
One of the intangibles that won't pop up on the scorebook, but even pairing with the defense, like I said, has been improved from my viewpoint, is team communication. The girls are talking on the floor. How important is that? Very important.
We had some games early on where, the scrimmage, and then even in the Payne game, we go back to watch film. I'm like, no one's talking. Yes, I am, coach. I said, what are your hands doing? What is your body doing? Like, talking is a full body experience when it's coming to sports. And that's one of the things that I stress. Like, talking is with the hands. Talking is with the feet, body movement, all those things. So that's another thing that I stress when it comes to communication. And then talking loud. You can't whisper in basketball. So when somebody's coming to set a screen, you can't just say, screen's coming. You have to be loud about it, because that's an occupational hazard for your teammate. That's the way I talk about it.
Well, we talk about the intangibles, we talk about the defense, but of course, offense makes headlines. Yes. There's no debating that. And so far, Cash Hankerson's got a great start to her Allen career. The senior transfer from Albany State's in double figures through each of the first 2 games. Coaching an experienced player, that's always something nice to have when you take over a program. What type of impact has she had early on this year?
She's had a good, she's had a good impact. Cash is one of those players that could be a playmaker for us, that could just be a knockdown shooter for us, but then also be a defensive nuisance. Like, she doesn't mind making people uncomfortable, and she's in shape, so she can go the distance for us as well. So Cash has been somebody that's been highlighted, but she also gives credit to her teammates, because somebody's getting her open just as much as she's getting somebody else open. And she's been a pretty good free throw shooter for us too. So I think it was in the Payne game, she went 10 for 14 from the line. So that lets you know something now. So I'm just very pleased with her play, and I'm very pleased with her growth. And there's a whole lot more that she can contribute to, but so far so good with her.
The Allen women's basketball team has split the first 2 games of the season with a victory over Payne College, a tough loss to nearby Claflin last week. We'll take a short break here with Coach and be back to preview the Yellow Jackets' upcoming matchup with Lees McRae when we come back here on Allen Athletics.
I think my images truly portray dynamic women, like being bold, being fearless. Growing up, I did not see what I wanted to be. There was just a lack of Black women, business owners, entrepreneurs, creatives. That's how I just started taking pictures. And from there, I figured out that I wanted to be a photographer for women of color. It takes a village to be a Black woman, to live and survive as a Black woman. It takes support. I found my niche and I'm sticking to it.
Each year, the South Carolina Education Lottery raises millions of dollars for scholarships and grants that help students prepare for their dream career. Just like Kristen.
Back here with Coach Jones, head women's basketball coach here at Allen. Coach, you turn your attention to Saturday and you take on a Lees-McRae team that, much like your squad, is under a first-year head coach as well. What are you expecting from the Bobcats?
I'm expecting them to try to run the ball down our throats, and on transition, I'm expecting for them to hunt their three-point shots. They are really a inside-out game, not so much through their post players, but definitely through their guard play. So we have to be responsible and aggressive, So I'm expecting us to really lock down on the defensive end. We have to keep them off the boards, and we have to have a hand in everybody's face that catch the ball because they have a lot of shooters.
Quante Lee takes over the program at Lees-McRae after a 3-year stint as the head women's coach over at Carolina University. Coach, I'm curious, when you take a look at a team that's under a first-year head coach and you try to evaluate what they're going to show you, obviously you're going to watch this year's film of this year's players. Do you go back and watch how maybe an opposing coach worked at a previous school as well? Yes,
you do. As much as you can find out on that coach. I do know that he is a very good coach. I do know that his system, it works. I do know that he's a coach based off film that the team really works the ball. They are disciplined. They stay within their offensive sets, and they're looking to score under 20 seconds. So the style of play, it really compromises the defense because you have to work. You have to work for every possession you get, and then you have to work on every pass they pass because they really work their offense. So I think that is indicative to maybe what he did in the past.
Allen women's basketball in action this Saturday against Lees-McRae, then the following Monday, November the 20th, to take on Morris College. Coach, before we let you go, the next time we have you on the show, Thanksgiving will have come and gone. I have to ask, what's the favorite Thanksgiving food?
Oh my goodness, sweet potato pie.
Sweet potato pie.
Yes, my mama's.
I'll go get with a little dessert over on the side. Well, she's Coach LaToya Jones, head Allen women's basketball coach here for the Yellow Jackets. I'm Kay Crenshaw. We'll be right back.
At Founders Federal Credit Union, we know success is a team effort. We're always cheering for you, side by side, so you can dream big and achieve your goals. Offering products and services that put you in the lead, whether that's helping you buy a car, build your savings, or supporting your community. We're here with the financial support you need. That's teamwork. Score big with Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders.
I think my images truly portray dynamic women, like being bold, being fearless. Growing up, I did not see what I wanted to be. There was just a lack of Black women, business owners, entrepreneurs, creatives. That's how I just started taking pictures. And from there, I figured out that I wanted to be a photographer for women of color. It takes a village to be a Black woman, to live and survive as a Black woman. It takes support. I found my niche and I'm sticking to it.
Each year, the South Carolina Education Lottery raises millions of dollars for scholarships and grants that help students prepare for their dream career, just like Kristen.
Back here on Allen Athletics, joined by Yellow Jacket men's basketball coach Shawn Walker. Coach, appreciate you taking the time. You're 2 games into your first season here at Allen. You took a Florida road trip. Coming off that, while you weren't able to come away with a victory, what were you happy with your team about?
Well, I'll tell you, we stepped off into to a tall glass of water in that first weekend, and we're able to learn a tremendous amount about ourselves. We fought very hard. We were probably, on a level that we're not quite ready for yet. And at the same time, we were in both games and had some good moments. So I'm proud of the fact that we fought really hard. I'm proud of the fact that our attitudes are really good after being 0-2. And I'm excited about the fact that we get a chance to right some of those wrongs as we move forward back in practice and moving forward to the next set of games.
Two tough matchups with the University of Tampa and Eckerd College to start the year. But, Coach, one thing I took away from taking a look back at the games was your team outscored your opponents in the second halves of both games. How can that translate to faster starts in the first half?
Well, I think one of those things is first game we kind of got down. The score at one point was 29-22. We have untimely turnovers that caused points on the other end. We're having experiencing live ball turnovers that we can't defend. That's a problem. We're having tremendous scoring droughts. Sometimes 7, 8, 9 possessions without a bucket. So your defense can't sustain that, and we're also giving up too many points. But the byproduct of that is untimely turnovers and live ball turnovers. So we've got to play better. We've settled into the second half a little better each night. We were able to guard a little better. We were able to get back in transition a little better. We were able to rebound a little better in the second half. So those are points of emphasis moving forward to this upcoming week, and things that we've set a priority in fixing and cleaning up and moving forward.
On road trips, obviously you can only take so many on a travel roster, but in each of the first two games you played 16 guys. Does that lend itself more to you figuring out this team and sort of figuring out what works best, or will that be a consistent thing throughout the season?
Well, we're in somewhat a mode of trying to figure out or creating an identity. And so in that mode, it's fair to give every kid an opportunity to play a little bit to see what actually they would do when the lights are on. Obviously, we were down on that first game, 23. We were able to come back and cut that lead, but we also were able to give guys an opportunity to show, what they could do. In that second game, we utilized everybody in a game that was a 5-point game with 2 minutes left. I believe young people are motivated and edified more when they think they have a chance to win, but they're also motivated when they think they have a chance to contribute. And so we want each of our players to contribute equally as much as they're capable of doing, just like we require them to do in practice.
I know you like the different coach speak adages that you can work into the team, and the coach told me one time you can either lose or you can learn. After 2 tough losses to start the year, what do you feel like you've learned about your team?
Yeah, I told our players that you either, you can lose a game, but that doesn't mean that things are lost. And we actually gained a tremendous amount. I mean, as you coach young people and you talk to young people, they don't listen to you all the time. I said to them, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, and you're supposed to listen more than you talk 2 times as much. So I think we have their attention now. There's good basketball teams. Tampa, when we walked into Tampa's gym and for practice, and they looked around and said, "Is this a Division I school?" All right, and so now there's, we do understand that there's levels to this thing. We played probably at least two of the toughest teams that we'll play this year. Obviously, we'll see some other opponents that'll be really good as well. But we've learned that we have to get better. We learned we have to play better. Our quality of play has to be much better than it has been, and we have to cut down on our mental errors to give ourselves a chance to win.
One of the bright spots to start the season has been the play of Shawn Aldridge, coach of guard who's been in double figures in each of the first 2 games. A player that started his career at the junior college level, then spent some time over in the CIAA at Elizabeth City, and then he comes over here to Allen, a player that you previously recruited at Elizabeth City State. Tell us a little bit more about Shawn and what he can mean to your team.
Well, amazingly, Shawn, led us in scoring and had two nights that seemingly were good nights. Shawn should have had 20 or 20 plus points each night. Some of the turnovers that he made are turnovers that he should have shot the ball, which speaks to his being unselfish, speaks to him looking for his teammates, speaks to him trying to incorporate his teammates into the play. He's a great kid, comes from a really good family in Jacksonville, Florida. His mother's, really funny lady who really supportive, got on the bus in Florida and prayed with the team. And so Shawn's very important to us. Right now, he's playing the bulk of our minutes. I think the first game he played close to 40 minutes, and then the second game we got him a little bit of help, and he played still 30 plus minutes. And we're going to need him to play well. We're going to actually need him to play better. We'd like for him to cut some of his turnovers down, but we're asking a lot of him. We're asking him to defend, to set the tone for us on defense. We're asking him to handle the ball every possession, and then he has a responsibility of scoring for us as well. So we're looking forward to trying to get him to understand better that it's okay to get to the basket and put the ball in the basket, and also get your teammates the basketball as well, and give this team a little bit of everything that we need.
The men's basketball team back in action this Saturday at noon to take on Blue Lights College in an exhibition match. Coach, before we preview your opponent coming up this Saturday, tell us a little bit more about an exhibition-style match. How do they come about, and how does it help your team?
Well, I've known a little bit about Blue Lights. Blue Lights is a school in North Carolina. They're a police school. They're a school that educates young people to get on the police force, and by that virtue, school called Blue Lights. And so, in our transition, if we were still NAI, this would be a regular game. The NCAA does not qualify Blue Lights as a accountable opponent because they do not offer legitimate 4-year degrees. So, with that being stated, we schedule them. For us, it's a game. For them, it's a game. But obviously, as the NCAA takes a look at it and views it, it's not an accountable game. So we'll treat it just like a normal game. It'll be a game. They're a formidable opponent, and be a good opportunity for our guys to play at home in front of from their family and the students that are going to be here before Thanksgiving and this local community, and have an opportunity to see if we can win a game.
This isn't a one-year trial run for you. This is a plan for the future for you here at Allen. And coming with that starts with building a culture and building a foundation for your program. As a coach, how do you go about that? Because we understand you'll implement offensive schemes and defensive styles for in-game play, but off the court, obviously that's going to be important for you. How do you go about establishing what you want?
That's everything for us at this point. We're creating a way about doing things, a culture about doing things, and when you start looking at this idea of foundation, all right, foundation is, you need to have a steady, solid undergirth of players where, we didn't come in and get rid of everybody. We came in and bought players that loved to be at Allen, that wanted to be at Allen, that didn't get in the transfer portal, which is a bonus. We came back and we created a new staff. It's going to be important for me to keep my staff. It's going to be important for us for all the things that have happened at Allen University that have been good, we want to be able to keep. All the things that I want to change, not to say they were bad, we want to change, and those things take time. These guys are getting acclimated to listening to me scream and yell at them and challenge them and push them and wake them up early and feed them a certain way and talk about the way they dress and way they wear their hair and just the way we move around, how we say thank you, how we say no ma'am, no sir, yes sir. This whole idea of culture building is what we're doing. So we're winning at that. All right, we've already won now. Now the next piece to the puzzle is that we figure out how to let that move over into the court, because I do believe the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So that we can win off the court, we can win on the court, and it just makes a lot of sense.
He's Shawn Walker, Allen men's basketball coach, as he leads the Yellow Jackets into action this Saturday against Blue Lights College. Coach, your first season is in full swing. Week to week, what does your schedule look like outside of games? How much are you watching film? What's the practice schedule look like for your team? What's the week look like in season for Allen men's basketball?
Well, a lot of the same. It's been a busy time in the preseason. Obviously, now we're preparing for games. I'm a film watcher all the time anyway. I'm watching us most of the time. My staff and I are watching our upcoming opponents. We're getting ready for our opponents, not taking anything for granted, hoping that people are not taking us for granted. But we're really, really, really engulfed in trying to make our team better. All right, that's where we are at this point. We're obviously getting ready for games, but our practices are most important because we're trying to learn not only how to play, but we're trying to learn how to win. All right, we had a winnable game last week that we could not get out of our way. So we're talking about what does it take to be a winner. All right, what does it take for us to maximize the things that we need to do for this team to be successful? That's what I'm spending the majority of our time doing. I'm spending time with our players. I'm talking to our players. I'm talking to our coaches. I'm trying to galvanize the room. And I'm doing that some with a positive interaction. I'm doing some of that with negative interaction. I'm trying to get the very, very best out of this group. I've said to them that we are a hard hat program, and so we're operating as a hard hat program in this matter of time. We don't You know, we take days off for the players to take a day off, but we don't have a day off because we got to get this group better. And that's what every day looks like. It's a sun up to sundown kind of situation.
Coach, I'll ask you to finish the sentence here. Aside from a lead on Saturday, when your team goes into halftime, what will you want to see from your group to be pleased at the break?
When we're going to halftime, number one, we've got to capitalize on our transition defense. We got to get back better than we did against both of the teams that we had. I'm going to be focusing on really not watching the score. I tried to do that last week. Not watching the scoreboard, taking a look at the quality of play that we have. Are we getting back in transition? When the opposing team shoots, are 5 guys going to box out? All right. Can we get to the free throw line and not miss 16 free throws and lose a game by 15 points? All right. Right now, if you go to my office, you'll see everybody's got to check in. Every player's got to make 200 free throws. They got to make 800 free throws before Saturday, or they're not playing. All right. And so these are the things that I'm going to be capitalizing on, which are wins from last weekend, because we know that these are issues. All right. And so now I'm going to be checking that box maybe before before halftime, maybe the first 4-minute timeout, where we need to start playing the game in 4-minute increments of not making mistakes. Again, that's a catalyst for winning, and that's what we'll be looking forward to on Saturday.
Message to the team: get your 800 free throws in before Saturday. He's Shawn Walker, Allen men's basketball coach. Coach, thanks so much for taking the time, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you very, very much.
We'll be back with more.
At Founders Federal Credit Union, we know success is a team effort. We're always cheering for you, side by side, so you can dream big and achieve your goals. Offering products and services that put you in the lead, whether that's helping you buy a car, build your savings, or supporting your community. We're here with the financial support you need. That's teamwork. Score big with Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders.
And we welcome you back in here to Allen Athletics on WACH-FOX 57. I want to thank both Coach LaToya Jones and Coach Shawn Walker for stopping by the studios today and catching us up on everything we need to know about Allen women's and men's basketball as their seasons are underway, and you can catch them in action coming up here at home tomorrow, Monday, November the 20th. The women tipping off at 5 o'clock, the men at 7:30, all that and more over on auyellowjackets.com. You can get scores, schedules, updates, rosters, and tickets for each and every men's and women's basketball game throughout the season, including season tickets that are now on sale. Again, for more information, you can check out auyellowjackets.com, the official online home for Allen Athletics. Well, before we get out of here, we do have to issue a big congratulations to quarterback David Wright III. David was named the SIAC's Offensive Player of the Year and Most Valuable Player at the recent Postseason Football Banquets Awards ceremony hosted by the SIAC. David is the first player in Allen's history to be named SIAC Player of the Year after he threw for over 3,000 yards and totaled over 20 touchdowns on the season. So big congrats to David Wright III and all of Allen football on what was a tremendous 2023 campaign. The Yellow Jackets finished 7-3 on the gridiron. Well, that'll bring us to a close this morning on WACH-FOX 57. We hope to see you back here each and every week, Sundays at 8 a.m. I'm Kay Crenshaw here for Allen Athletics. We'll see you next time. And as always, remember to smile.